Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me today. I'm Marilyn Robinson, and I'll tell you a little bit more about myself in a moment. I did want to share some concepts and ideas and try to help you think out of the box a little bit about how to spend the last third of your life. So I do have some slides that I'd like to go through and use to prompt you to think out of the box. So first off, I want to expand on, are you fit to retire? So everybody always thinks about finances, and finances are a part of it. But there's also self-identity. As you leave that career, who do you become? You may be also a parent, but you wear different hats throughout life. And what I want you to think about is, as you're by yourself or with your spouse, who do you want to be in that last phase of your life? Socially is really important. Who are you going to hang out with? What are you going to do together? And how are you going to stay? We're very social beings and we need friends and family that we like around. Relationships are key. Like I mentioned, family, spouse, children. Your adult children will want to have a different relationship with you than they did when they were children. And also your spouse. As you leave work and you're both home together, challenges may arise. Of course, if you want to live a long life, health is really key. And fitness, we all think of exercise, exercise. It's movement is my favorite word. Just keep moving. And then I mentioned we all take hopefully good care of our finances, and we stay that's something we're trained to do, is focus on finances. So what does your last third of your life look like? Have you asked yourself, what are you going to do when you're 60? What are you going to do when you're 70? What are you going to do in your 80s? So let's talk about that. I have a couple of questions here that I want to maybe stimulate some thinking. So first off, what will life be like as you age? What do you see? Do you see yourself? Are you physically challenged? Are you limiting yourself as to what you can do? What does it really look like? And what do you think you want it to look like? And then who will you become? Like I said, a lot of us look at our careers, our job, as our titles, as who we are. When you introduce yourself at a networking or a party, you usually say, hey, well, people ask you, what do you do? Okay, so your identity is, oh, I'm such and such at such and such company. When you don't have that anymore, what are you going to say? So then who will you hang out with? This is the social aspect. When you're at work and you see your friends on a daily basis in the hall, you can say, hey, what are you doing this weekend? I thought I would go do this, this, and this. You want to join me? Well, guess what? When you leave work, it's out of sight, out of mind. And so you really need to make an effort to stay in touch with those people. So start thinking about, who do you really enjoy spending time with, that you have common interests with, and start building some traditions and habits to stay in touch. Where will you live? Near family? Okay, the question always comes up, are you going to downsize? Do you want to stay in the house you have? Is there some place you've always wanted to live, in the country, in the city? Where do you want to live the last third of your life? And in my case, my kids live in 3 different states, so living near them isn't going to work. But I asked them, can you stay within an hour to 2 hour airplane flight so I can come and visit? Will you jump out of bed with no aches and pains? Oh my gosh, I turned 40 and all of a sudden, oh, my knees started to hurt. Oh, my back was hurting. I wasn't as flexible as I wanted to be. So taking care of ourselves as we age is really, really critical. We want to keep that movement going. And being able to get out of bed without aches and pains, be able to sit up in bed and get out of it is really key. So are you healthy, or do you visit the doctor too much? So that is really key. Focus on your health. Everybody always told me in my 40s, it's a downhill slide. It's harder to take care of yourself. So get into good habits. Well, I didn't always listen to them. So I do have some challenges, but I only go to the doctor once a year, not too bad. That's for my annual exam. So how do you want to spend your time? What do you enjoy doing? Brainstorm, get your favorite beverage and sit down and think, what do I really enjoy doing? I love reading novels, so I'm always reading a book. I like personal development books. I read those. I like to be outside, so walking and hiking and just sitting on a park bench in the shade. But what do you like doing? So brainstorm some of the things that you like to do, that you do now, did in the past, or want to do in the future. And then plan to integrate that into your life as you go forward. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. I have always charted my own course. And here's a laundry list of what I've accomplished. I got fed up in high school, so I graduated in 3 years and moved on to college. It took me a while, changed my major about 5 times, but I finally landed a BS degree in computer science. Well, yeah, I'm an extrovert who can sit in front of a computer all day long. Not me. Wrong choice of career. But I was very fortunate that Intel was looking for technical degree people to be Salesforce. So I was one of the first female salespeople hired at Intel, and it was great. It was a wonderful career. I got to learn a lot. I moved around in different jobs and positions, climbed the ladder. You could say I broke the glass ceiling for a lot of women to follow behind me. And I was blessed to have made enough money to retire at 42. So my husband decided to retire with me. Intel had gotten to really be a big company, and we weren't quite enjoying it as much as when it was an entrepreneurial company. So yes, I met my husband at Intel. We've been married, it'll be 35 years at the end of August this year. And then we decided instead we would homeschool the kids. So we had 3 children, and the world was our landscape. We loved to travel with them, and they hated it, but we did do schoolwork while we were there. So they're all graduated from college. I'm an empty nester. That's a sad story, but I've moved on to be more of an entrepreneur. So the kids are all doing great. They've got their own lives, and they're happy and successful. The other thing that we were able to do, which is a blessing, is we have a wonderful, wonderful vacation home in the Sierras. We enjoy a lot of sunshine, gorgeous weather, reasonable temperatures in the summer. And then also in the winter, we have gobs of snow, and the whole family is avid skiers. So we do love to travel. We haven't done a lot of world travel because of COVID. We have branched out this last year and done some stateside traveling, and that's been enjoyable. And we'll get back to the world as appropriate. One of the things I required when I retired from Intel was to be debt-free. I did not want to have a mortgage payment hanging over my head. So that was critical. So it was a blessing, and we were able to do that. I have a successful direct sales business, and I love servicing my customers and growing my team. And then I also decided that one of my purposes in life is to share my wisdom and become a coach. So that's what I'm here to talk to you about. My biggest joy is helping people to chart their own course and map out their life's journey and have fun in the process. So you want to measure life by adventures, not years. We don't have to focus on what age we are. We should be focusing on what fun and adventures we're having. So David Bowie said it nicely. Aging is an extraordinary process where we become the person that we always should have been. So in other words, we should be somebody who is that, and let's get to it and be that person. So I'm going to try and play this video. It's may not, the sound may not come in, but let's go ahead. So Ernest Hemingway wrote The Old Man in the Sea at 52. And then Satchel Paige was still dominating batters at 59. Could you imagine throwing that ball? I'm left-handed. Throwing that ball, Pablo, he won a Nobel Prize for literature at 67. And then Celia was still winning Grammys at 77. Oh my gosh. And here, this guy, John Wheeler, illuminated our views of the universe at the age of 70. So I can still do something outrageous. And then Diana, No way do I want to swim at 64 from Cuba to Florida. And last but not least, Roger went into the space at 56. So your best is yet to come. So what I want you to understand though, is what you do in your 40s and 50s determines what your life's going to be like in your 60s and 70s. So remember that. Think about how you're treating your body and what you're doing, and that's going to roll over and be part of who you are when you're in your 60s and 70s. So I want to share a concept with you, making the last of your life the best. And so I broke it up into thirds. It's easy. So the first is acquiring skills and expertise. So this is as you're learning. You pleasing parents and the people around you, those school cliques, friends of yours. And you're really trying to decide who and what you are and what's your purpose. I remember my son came home from college and he says, I just don't know what I want to do with my life. And so, he was in his 20s trying to figure out what did he want to do. So it's the era of growing, learning, and then experiencing life. And then we get into the second phase, which is utilize the skills to make a living and build a life. And this is where you're busy. Oh my gosh, I was never so busy. So you're worried about impressing people, it's the old Joneses, competing with the Joneses. And you're obviously want to impress your manager, so you get a good raise and you get that next promotion. And your peers, you want to gain respect and recognition from your peers, from your friends, from your neighbors, everything. And it's a time of building and expanding. So you're building on your career, you're expanding your life to have a house, maybe marriage, maybe kids. So I look at this phase of life as expand, share, and experience. And then we get into the last phase of life. And if you haven't thought about it, let's think about it. Well, dang it, you deserve to enjoy it. Explore, share your wisdom. You've learned a lot over 60 years. So share it, give back. And if you want, leave a legacy, whatever that may be. It may be a book, it may be, a park, whatever suits you. So with that, a lot of people think about 60s, they worry about getting old. How will they age? Will they physically be able to continue to do everything they want to do? And then you wonder, when you leave your career, who will you be? What will I be? And then I didn't think about a legacy until recently. I didn't really think about what I wanted to leave behind. I am in the process of writing a book about having the last third be your best third. And I'm also going to turn a lot of that information into an online course. So that's kind of my legacy. Nothing big. I don't need to go out and solve world hunger. So what is so amazing about this phase of your life is you are free to do what you want. Guess what? All those people you were worried about what they thought about really didn't give you the time of day, because frankly, people think about themselves most of the time. And so out of sight, out of mind. As soon as you're out of their sight, you are out of their mind. And you no longer have to worry about what they think. You don't care what they think, because it doesn't matter. You're going to do what you want, what makes you happy. So one of the things that my husband and I enjoy doing is really taking time to be present. It's really important to enjoy life, and to enjoy life, you have to be present. So in my case, I saw the world and everything through my own eyes growing up, but then I also saw it again through my children's eyes. That was very rewarding. And now I'm seeing it again with even a different, looking at it more for not what it is, but how I can enjoy it. So I look at this time as where we evolve, we share, and we re-experience everything that we have had before. So if you are ready to make the last third of your life the best third of your life, I'm here. Let me brainstorm with you. I love talking with people and meeting new people. I love brainstorming and getting out of the box. Quit thinking about the normal life you have and being complacent, and let's jazz it up and make life more about adventures than years. So you can reach out and book a time on marilyn-robinson.com. If you want to take it a step on your own and start brainstorming, what do you want to do with your life? I have a free lifestyle vision guide. You can get it at bit.ly, Get Life Vision. So download that and have your favorite beverage and sit around and ponder what it is you want to do with the rest of your life. If you're interested to know more about me, join me on Facebook, Marilyn Robinson 76, and see what I do to enjoy life. If you're a LinkedIn person and you want to connect, I'm happy to connect with you. I'm Marilyn Life Designer, and I look forward to connecting. So I hope this got you thinking a little broader than you normally do, and that you are able to enjoy and identify some things that you might do differently and have the best life you can. You own it, design it, enjoy it. I look forward to talking to you and invite you to other videos on my YouTube channel. Take care.